Hey everyone, how you doing? I am Clara, and this is going to be a medium short review of Atlantis Rising. Now, I have played the second edition, I've not played the first edition, and I actually bought it not that long ago, so it should be, I feel like it should be easy enough to get hold of. So I'm going to talk about this cooperative worker placement game and tell you what I thought about it. So let's get to it, shall we? Okay, so Atlantis Rising. So this is an interesting thing, and I'll put a picture up with the board. But you have this sort of star-shaped board, and the star-shaped board is made up of different segments, and so you can put your workers out. In turn, you and your people that you're playing with, like I say, you're playing cooperatively. You put your workers out, and once you're there, then at some point you'll be rolling a dice or die, and if you get a high enough roll, then you can activate that segment. The kick is that before you actually roll, so you place your workers out and then you reveal these cards, and some of them might be like, well, this part of the island sinks. And so the island sinks from the outside to the inside, and it'll tell you whether it's the mountains or the city or whatever it is. And so it might be that your part of the island sinks, and so that worker just disappears. And then, you'll be rolling the dice, and maybe you'll get the resources, and maybe you won't. And so, obviously, luck is an important part. You can mitigate by putting more meeples out, but that might not be possible. But maybe you'll have some special cards, so you can gain these cards, which give you special modifiers. And between you as a group, you're trying to use these different locations to gather resources. And then you need to, over the course of the game, put meeples in the center of the board and trade those in to build parts of the machine. And once you've built enough parts of the machine, then you can, I don't know, go to the stars or whatever it is that the Atlanteans did. So, yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Now, let me just start by saying that I got the Atlantis Rising second edition, like I say, and it is gorgeous. The pieces are absolutely stunning. The cards feel great. Everything about it just felt quality. And what was really nice was that the box had an insert and everything fit together in there really well as well. This was just absolutely gorgeous put together. It was great. It's a lovely game. And I think a lot of people like this, so there's a bit of a hesitation here because a lot of people are like this game. But for me and my friend, we played this through a few times and it just sort of it fell flat. It didn't quite work. So I'm going to also talk about a similar cooperative game where you're pulling cards to see if there's disaster, and that's the very popular Pandemic. And what I've come to realize over time with Pandemic, and it's the same with this game, it's the same with Atlantis Rising, is that quite often you're looking around and there's an optimal move, and sometimes you'll see it and sometimes your friends will see it, and so you'll be pointing. But basically, between you, there's a move you can do, or maybe a few moves you can do. I never, in both this and Pandemic, it's very rare that I feel that I have choices to make. I feel like it's about seeing the move rather than deciding what move I want to do. And that might be great for some people. I mean, I like puzzles, I love putting puzzles together, but I think out of a board game, I want something where I've got a bit of choice. Even if it's a cooperative game where you're trying to solve something, I at least want a couple of decisions. But so often with this game, I felt that I didn't have a decision that I could make. I had to go there, and oh, you need to go here. What's that? I need to go there. Okay. It just felt like every turn was mechanical. It just felt like it was being we're grinding out. And then you've got the luck aspect on top of it. So it's like you're already doing a move that I didn't want to do, and then I don't even manage it because my meeple drowns. I mean, I just didn't have fun with this game. It's beautiful, and I wanted to like it. And as a puzzle, it's interesting. Production, it's gorgeous. The table was really weird as well because you've got this quite large board which comes apart in segments, which is really clever. But then you've also got the second board, and it just made it really complicated to fit on the table. And I mean, there are ways of doing it with two players and one player, but I don't know. This just didn't work for me. like I say, I just always felt like I was having to do stuff now. And this is how I feel about base game Pandemic as well. I don't feel like I have options. I feel like I am doing what I need to do, and that's it. And sometimes luck will just slap you down a little bit. And I realize that a lot of people are very love Pandemic, but over time, I'm not one of those people. Now, I do love the Pandemic Legacies. The interesting thing about the Pandemic Legacies is it's adding stuff in and it's adding extra levels. And so there is more stuff to do. And sometimes you've got to figure out what it is you've got to do. I just need a little bit more with Pandemic, and it's the same with Atlantis Rising. I just need a little bit more. I just don't feel that I have options. I don't feel that I have choices. And so I bought it and it didn't, and I gotta admit, I opened it up and my eyes so wide because it is so beautiful. It looked amazing on the table, but I just didn't need to keep it because me and my husband are like, we're not going to play this. Why would we play this when there's other games that we want to play? I wouldn't not play it if other people had it out and they were playing and invited me, but I just don't feel the need to own this. Now, I think a lot of people will like this. If you like Pandemic and you really enjoy Pandemic, then you'll probably have a similar sort of feeling about this. For me, I'm a bit past Pandemic and I feel the same way about this. So yeah, it's a great game, beautiful production, and it's a really interesting design, but it's not for me, but maybe it is for you. And so hopefully you like that. Maybe like, subscribe, and until next time, I am Clara Barker, and take care, and bye bye.